Hello and welcome back. Of course, we're continuing the Armored Saint discography for this month, and of course, this is the last one. This is for their 1987 album, Raising Fear, which of course I have right here. Of course, it's on vinyl. Yeah, look at that. Of course, that's one of the best things about this album is that artwork. Look at that. How badass can an album have? You know, just a knight, huge almost at the size of Galactus, just bursting out from under Los Angeles. Of course, if I can, there's a lot of depictions about this artwork. One of the best things about having it on vinyl is you can depict other things. You can actually depict some people pretty much falling to their death. Yeah, this is definitely fucking badass, I will say that. Not that I condone deaths, but come on. That just make this album even feel more darker than it actually is. Yes, you heard me right. This is definitely a much darker album than the previous one. Because Delirious Nomad felt a little more, let's just say it was a little happy-go-ready stuff. Even though it was a good album, but compared to this album, it doesn't. This album is much darker and actually much heavier than the past albums. This is where Dave Prichard really kind of shines as a musician. Yeah, some of his guitar work in here is a little more melodic in way, taking his influence from bands like Iron Maiden and even some Judas Priest as well. And plus, this will predate albums such as Painkiller in a way. This is pretty much the band's most power metal album in a way. This is definitely kind of it's in line with the stuff that was released on this year. You had pretty much Sanctuary's Refuge Denied. You had Obsession's Methods of Madness. You had you just had quite a bit. Dude, I'm recording a video. I can't get to you right now. I'm on Facebook. So, with that, of course the producer for this album, which I can just pull out right here, is Chris Minto, who actually produced not some big albums. The only thing that sticks to my mind is Le Mans, which was a shrapnel band. So he gives this band a bit more of a punch to it. With songs such as the title track, which kicks this album off, which is a blazing speed metal song. This song just pretty much has that Judas Priest sound to it. Everything. John Bush is pretty much howling off his lungs. Everything about it. Even drummer Gonzo Sandoval, he's also pretty much drumming as his, he's pounding the freaking thing. It's good. That's all I can say. Of course, there's other good songs on here, such as Out on a Limb, Human Vulture. Holy shit. This is definitely one of my favorites off this album, alongside, even Chemical Euphoria. Of course, there's some other good ones on here. Terror, Underdogs, which is the last song on this album, is actually also another speed metal song as well. Probably not at the same pace as Raising Fear, but sure is in the same, vein as that. It's still in the same sort of style. It still is classified as a speed metal song. There's other good ones on here. Isolation on here is actually kind of a ballad. But I hate to use the word ballad because of it isn't really. It's more of a, just more of a emotional, sort of haunting like song, kind of like The Lady Wore Black or something like that. It's in that same vein. Or Streets of Berlin by Wild Dogs. It's just in that sort of same vein of songs. Or even some of the past Armored Saint tracks would like Take a Turn. So, those are the good ones on here, like Book of Blood, that. And of course there is a cover track on this album. Of course, being Saturday Night Special, which was a Lynyrd Skynyrd song. Now, I definitely have said that some of the, of course I'm talking about, of course it's, like with Sabotage, Fight for the Rock, with Badfinger's Day After Day and Freeze, Wishing Well on those are not nearly as good. But here with Armored Saint, on Raising Fear with their cover of Lynyrd Skynyrd's Saturday Night Special, they actually do good with this track. It's actually one of my favorites off this album. Surprisingly, it is. I think they really took a cover song that actually suits their style, instead of like with other bands trying to force to make a song to suit their style. The thing is, Sabotage were not Judas Priest. But same thing with Armored Saint. They're not nearly Judas Priest, but they were able to kind of take a song that really doesn't seem like they're stretching their abilities a bit. So, with that, of course, if you had gotten the CD version of the sound, you would get an extra track on here called Crisis of Life. Not a bad song, but I can see why it's only exclusive to the CD version than the LP version. Because to me, I think the LP version is a lot stronger than the CD version. Because to me, Crisis of Life is not bad, but at times it seems like it drags the album a bit too much. So, with that said, this actually would end up being the last album for Dave Prichard. Sadly, it is, because right in February 28th of 1990, he would end up passing away due to leukemia. So, definitely the band suffered a fatal blow, because on some of the past albums that he was on, he great guitar player, and on here, hate to say it, but for the Way to Go, this is he really proved his ability as a musician. Just songs that are just great. Definitely, what a way to go out. So, this pretty much ends the Armored Saint discography review for US Power Metal Month, since I only focused on the 80s releases, then the 90s stuff, or the 2000s, because this whole month focuses on the 80s stuff and not all of the 90s. So, with that said, if you have heard this album, what are your thoughts? Do you think this is the band's best album, or do you think it's not as good as the past releases? March of the Saint being one, or the 1983 EP. So, definitely put your thoughts down below. So until then, this is Heavy Thrasher Sing. I am out. I'll see you again. It's time to get on to the next band. Later.